All right, I'm going to replace the material on the brake band. I've got the old one off, and it is a lot more wore than I initially thought. And I've cut the rivets off, and they look like they were brass to me. And this material is very limber. Right through here is wore terribly. There's a groove in it. And it was time to replace it. This is on the bottom side of it, the way it goes around. And it gets the most pressure through here, so naturally it's going to wear there more. And so what I've done is cut this off, and I've cleaned inside here the best I can. I may sand that just a little bit more before we actually adhere to it. I've measured my material off. I ended up with about 3 inches left over. And so what we need to do, I've kind of worked this, formed it to where it's in a circular shape. And what we're going to do is finish cleaning this up, get the adhesive mixed up. I'm using a 2-part epoxy. I think it's Gorilla epoxy, sets in 5 minutes. I just hope I've got enough. And we're going to epoxy this into place. If you notice, when I set it in here, it kind of holds itself in place. And what I'll do is clamp it in the vise near where it sits in the tractor. It'll be a little more closed than that. But what we'll do is epoxy this into place, and then go around and put a couple of clamps on it to pull it up where it should be. So let me clean this band up a little bit more, and we'll be ready to mix the epoxy. Okay, now I've got this sanded down. I took some 60 grit sandpaper, and I really scored it up. You want it to be roughed to help it adhere better. And there was some rusting and some pitting in it, but I've got it clean, I think clean enough. And let me warn you guys, where these holes are bent, don't be flexing this band a whole lot. It would break easily, and then you'd be looking for a new band. So I've got this cleaned and ready to go. I've got the new material, and I'm going to mix my epoxy up, and like I said, I hope I've got enough here. It looks like it will be. I use this epoxy sometimes. I've used it on a lot of things. I've taken and repaired tie straps that had broken. Oh yeah, there's going to be plenty. And take the 2 ends, or the tie strap, and run it back through the loop, and then clamp it in the vise, leave it set up for usually overnight. And I've never had a tie strap. Well, I take that back. I've had one tie strap to break again, but it holds really good. I put a healthy amount on it, and then take two pieces of wood, and sometimes it'll tend to stick a little bit to the wood, but it'll be fine. You can break it loose if you work it, but the material of your tie straps, it'll hold it very well. I've used this on several different things and have had good luck. So what I'm going to do is just take and I've got more than enough here. I'm going to put a healthy amount around the band. Just use a stick or something clean. You want to use something clean to mix this with. Some of them come with an applicator, a little piece of wood they use to mix it and apply it. I just keep a thing of thicker toothpicks on hand to do things like this with. Again, this is like a 2,500, 3,000 pounds of pressure. This is a real high strength epoxy, and it works really well. Now you'll probably get some that'll run out. You can always clean that up after it sets up, and I can already feel it setting up, so I need to get this in there soon. Alright, and we'll start. You notice this hole is closer here, so the material on the original was closer on this side. So we'll start here and just form it on the inside and get it into place. Put our band in the clamp here, and then I'll get some clamps and put in place. Start on this side and clamp this in place first. See what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this one here like that, and then I'll put a piece of tighten my clamp up a little bit more to get it to hold good. It's pulling away here and over on this side, so I want to put a clamp over on this side next and just kind of go through and work to where it needs it the most. And I may have to put something here to hold that up. There we go. Let me grab a pair of my channel locks here. I said channel locks, I meant vice grips. And I'm going to clamp it good here. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure on this because you don't want to score up this material. And now I need something on this side to keep it from tipping. Looks like I've got a spot right in here that needs to be pulled. So let me see if I can get one more clamp on this thing. I don't know if this is going to stay in the vise now. And what you'll want to do is just make sure that it's made contact through the majority of it, and it pulled it there, so I may have to take this one back out and pull it around. Yeah, we're getting there. I've got one more clamp I can use. Let's get this one. It'd probably be best to clamp it here and then work your way around. This is the second one I've done, so let me qualify that I'm not a professional at this. This is the second one. The first one, like I told you before, I didn't have any problems with it. It looks like it's making good contact surfaces all the way around, and that clamp is not. Got some of these little ones. You can't over clamp it. There, that bit real good. Let's use this one. And this one off a moment. There we go. I'm sure that looks like some kind of mean contraption. I don't know that I need this one. I don't know if I can get that one in there. So it looks like it's holding everywhere. Again, your pressure is going to be on this side here. So that's where you really want to make sure you're clamped good, and I am. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze this down. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It'll help it hold it in place. Let that set up. It says sets in 5 minutes, but I'll let that set up probably a good 3 or 4 hours. And then I'll take it out of the vise, I'll take the clamps off of it, and I'll probably wait until at least tomorrow before I put it on the tractor. I've got to do some painting. I'm going to try to paint my wheels today and a few other little things. And then after I get this set up and back on the tractor, I'll be able to put the transaxle back into the tractor. So that's the way I replaced the brake band material, and I bought that band material 2 or 3, 4 years ago, and I really don't remember how much it was. But I don't believe it was very expensive. I bought enough that I was able to do two of these. I think I bought maybe like 2 feet of it. And with shipping and everything, I don't think it was over $10. In fact, probably less than $10. I really don't remember. But the website where I got the material from is McMaster Car there's a hyphen in it, .com. And they've got everything. You'll have to just scroll through and find where they have the brake lining material, and it's not expensive at all. I think this width is 1 inch, if I remember correctly. It's 1 inch, and so that's a good way to reline your brakes on your tractors. Thanks for your interest. Have a good day. Bye bye.